Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to step out from behind the animations for a moment and speak to you directly. My setup today is a bit raw, it's just me and the microphone, but the strategy I'm going to share today is anything but simple. For those who are actually learning English and will is having or might have some difficulty in understanding me, my English, my diction, the captions are running at the bottom. You should be able to read at the same time, but listen carefully, my friend. If you have been following the channel, you have already mastered the ghostwriter's defense. You know how to own your AI output, but today we are going a little bit bigger. We are going to talk about your career pivot and the invisible promotion. I'm showing my face today because this isn't just a grammar lesson, it's an leadership lesson. If you haven't watched the previous session on owning the output, click the link above. Or I might be able to put the link at the description below. Otherwise, let's get started with the architect's narrative. So let me ask you something very important and be honest with yourself here. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? For example, finishing a project, hitting your deadlines, always saying yes, and yet somehow someone else keeps getting the recognition? Someone who doesn't even seem to work as hard as you. Yes, I've been there too. And here's the thing no one tells you. In 2026, working hard is the entry key, is the basic bare minimum requirement. Everyone in your company is working hard. The people who get promoted, they're not only working hard, they're talking differently. They're describing their task, they're describing their system. They're not saying, I finished the report. They're saying, I built a workflow that reduced the reporting time by 40%. And that's what we're covering today. I call it the architect's narrative, and by the end of this video, you are going to have the exact English phrases to start using it in meetings, in Slack, and in the small casual conversations that actually decide careers. All right, let's begin. So first thing, a question I get all the time. I've done my PhD in biomedical engineering, I have worked in clinical research, I've been in this office, that office, different healthcare facilities. So the question I get all the time, I guess asked all the time, is how do I talk about my achievements without sounding arrogant? This is such a real fear, especially if you're from a culture where being humble is the default. But here's what I want you to understand, and there's a difference between arrogance and visibility. You don't have to brag, you just have to be clear. So instead of saying, I did this project alone, which can sound isolating, you can say, I put together the framework and the team was able to move really fast because of this. You're not hiding, you're not even bragging, you're connecting your contribution to a collective result. Here's another elegant move is the passive voice with ownership. For example, a new onboarding process was designed and I led that from start to finish. You acknowledge the team and you step forward. That's a mature and high status English. And in Slack message, even simpler. Instead of I fixed the bug, try good news, mate. That bug is sorted. Happy to walk anyone through the fix if it's helpful. So, see how that's generous? It signals confidence and collaboration at the same time. That's a sweet spot. All right, here's where it gets really exciting. This is the vocabulary that separates mid-level professionals from the people leadership invests in. When you describe your work using everyday task language, your brain, your manager's brain categorizes you as an executor, someone who receives instructions and delivers results. But when you use systems language, you're suddenly an architect, a strategist, someone who thinks beyond the task. Now, let me show you this in action. Imagine you have been using an AI tool to speed up your content drafts. The task version sounds like, I use ChatGPT to write faster. The architect's version, I have integrated an AI assisted drafting pipeline into our content workflow. It's removed a lot of the friction in our first draft stage, and it's actually stable across the whole communications team. Same reality, completely different perception. And here's the key phrase I want you to memorize for any team meeting, even one-to-one. What I have built here isn't just for the project, it's something that the team could use ongoing forward. And that one sentence moves you from task completer to company asset, and it's completely natural. It's not boasting, it's thinking out loud about the value. Okay, we're moving now from past to present into the future language, and this is where a lot of people leave so much on the table. Leaders don't just want someone who handles today's problems, they want someone who is already thinking about tomorrow's. That's a mindset shift, and it shows in your language. Reactive English sounds like I finished the Q3 report. Proactive English sounds like looking for ahead to the Q4. I'm already thinking about how we can make the reporting process even smoother. I have a couple of ideas and I would love to walk you through. Feel the difference? The first one closes the loop and the second one opens a door. A leader loves to walk through open doors. And now, my favorite part, because this is where promotions actually happen, not in performance reviews, in hallway conversations, in casual Zoom check-ins, Slack threads, lunch. My goodness, the problem is most people turn into a completely different person in these moments. They think this is just small talk, I should not brag, so they never mention anything meaningful, and then they're invisible. Alright, so the good news, you don't need to have a big pitch. You just need one small placed sentence. Someone asks, "Hey, how's it going, mate?" Here's your 30-second architect answer. Pretty good, actually. We just wrapped up something I am really glad we figured out. I put together a new process for the system that honestly should have saved the team a lot of time going forward. It's a bit of a puzzle, but I think we have cracked it. That's it. Keep it short and simple. You are not concerning anyone. You're sharing something genuinely exciting, and the phrase "a bit of a puzzle but we cracked it," it's warm, humble, and it signals problem solving ability without a single line of jargon. On Zoom, even simpler. When someone says anything interesting this week, just say, "Yeah, actually, I would love your thoughts on something I've been building on if you have 5 minutes extra time for me." You have just opened mentorship conversations, that relationship capital. That's how careers accelerate. So in conclusion, let's bring it all together. The architect's narrative, it's about pretending to be someone you are not. It's about making sure the work you're already doing gets recognition it deserves in the language that decision makers understand and respect. You have got 4 tools now: the we plus I balance for taking credit gracefully, the systems vocabulary for describing your work as infrastructure, not just output, the future proof phrases for showing you're thinking ahead, like the Q3 and the Q4 example I gave you, and the casual chit chat move for making your wins land in everyday conversations. You just one of these this week, in a meeting, in a Slack message, in a quick coffee chat, whatever, and see what happens. Because here's what I know, and I want you to know: your work is good. You're the person who is very important to your team and to the company. It's always means the only thing standing between you and the next level you is the story you tell about. People nowadays want someone who is good at storytelling, not bullshitting all the time, but telling good stuff all the time. And now you have the language to tell it. Now is your turn. Drop a comment, see if it helps, if that's been helpful, and let me know what other topic you want me to discuss on. I have other videos in my previous, scroll down and to see if you like it or not, and give a comment and give a feedback. How did I perform? All right, anyway, I will see you in the next episode. I will bring something nicer for you guys, which will be beneficial in 2026 and moving forward in this AI era. Okay, cheers.